Bob Orr. Bob Orr by leaps and bounds, I think. I mean, there was a lot of good players and a lot of talented guys, but he just had that ability. You never knew how fast he was going, and if you tried to get him, he'd be going faster. It was just really a hard guy to put a beat on. Well, I think one of the toughest guys that I thought to play against was Teddy Green was one of them, but the other guy played defense for Boston in those days, and it was Leo Boivin. But he was a pretty not very big guy, but he was wide, and he used to lay out some great body checks. And then of course Bill Gatsby was another one that was a good defenseman and a good body checker. So those two guys really stood out in my mind. And Teddy Green was a little dirtier, but he was rough too.
So with those other guys, when you were going in the corner, you knew this was going to hurt.
Yeah, and they would get you in mid ice too, more than they would, like, they'd use the boards, but more than anything, if you're coming down in mid ice or on the along the boards, they'd nail you. Just a solid check, not against the boards, but they're good body checkers. I'd say Howe was the nastiest. You never knew what he was going to do, and you never knew where he was coming from, and he was so big and strong, and he was quick, so you had to be careful of him all the time. There was a guy, not going back to the 6-team league, but there was a guy that was pretty nasty in Philadelphia a few years ago, Kelly. He was a guy that could really skate. He was stocky, but you had to if you were on the ice with him, you had to watch him all the time.
Bob Kelly?
Yeah, because he was out to nail somebody, and he could hit. But he was fast, so you had to really keep your wits about you, or he'd nail you through the boards.